Hey, what's going on? This is Grady with Triple Z. And now I also need to say this is Grady with Fashion Meets Function because my second eBay store is officially up and running. In a previous video, I showed you my new account. I've actually set it up as a store now and designed the store and the categories yesterday. So let me show you around. Welcome to my store. This is Fashion Meets Function. This is the place where I'm going to sell exclusively men and women's clothing, shoes, and accessories. So everything else that's collectible, that's pop culture stuff or collectibles or antiques, all of that will be in my Triple Z Treasure store, and all of the clothing will be in Fashion Meets Function. So wish me luck. Here's the store. That's the logo. This is the logo I made up here. And I'm pretty happy with everything so far. I need some sales though. I've had one sale, and as I list things, my store should grow. So here's some of the items. Right now, it's only concert t-shirts, music t-shirts, because that's the only thing I've listed. I bought a huge lot of about 100 music and concert t-shirts, and so I've been getting those listed. I probably still have another 25 to go. But in the meanwhile, I'm going to be listing some more vintage clothing in here and clothing from that giant yard sale that I bought because that has a lot of clothes in it. So this is the store. Thank you for checking it out. However, this is a what sold on eBay this week video, so I think we're done looking at my fancy new store. Thank you for humoring me. And now let's see what sold in my store. So these are items, some of the items, not all of them. This is some of the more interesting items that sold in the last week. I am so glad that this sold. It took probably a year to sell this, and it's kind of an awkward shape and an awkward size to store, and I'm really glad someone sold it. I think I'm getting out of the vintage seat cushion game for stadium little cushions that people use. I figured with this being a Notre Dame one and being somewhat vintage that for sure someone would buy it, and they did. Thank you, buyer, for getting this off of my shelf. However, I don't think I'm going to pick any more of these up, even though I only paid $1 for it. It's just not worth the time it takes to sell, and it's a little too nichey for me. So, really glad this sold. It's in very good condition. There's the backside, and maybe it's going in someone's game room or like man cave, or maybe they're going to go take it to a game and sit on it. So, that sold for $13.46 with free shipping, first class mail. I sold a cool pair of Timberland boots. These are women's boots. They're all suede, two-tone suede. They didn't photograph super well. For some reason, the black suede was kind of catching the light in a weird way. I probably could have just reshot them and done better photos, but I didn't need to because they sold. I got a best offer on these. They sold not quite for $53. I think they sold for $48 with free shipping. So thank you, buyer. They will be in the mail to you today. Now, let's go look at some china that sold. This is, let me get that in the frame. This is a Falstaff Tea Rose Gravy Boat pitcher. It's in the Tea Rose pattern, which is super common and not highly valuable. In fact, I'm drinking my coffee out of a leftover Tea Rose cup right now. So I made a mistake on this one, which is that I sold it for $9.95 with free shipping. This was supposed to be $9.95 without free shipping, or maybe like $4.95 with buyer paying shipping. I got lucky that shipping only cost me $6.50, so I was able to squeak out just a tiny bit of profit. Or at least not losing money on this one. So you got to watch those listing details when you list. When I go through it, I'm listing a bunch of china and a bunch of stuff, and I'm trying to move really fast for efficiency. Sometimes I make mistakes, and this one ended up costing me a couple dollars in profit. So this is the gravy pitcher. You can see it's about 5.5 inches tall, super clean, good condition. And the lady was really excited to get it. She sent me a message just thanking me for selling it to her. And I love it when people do that. So I'm grateful. Even if I didn't make any money, I'm happy it's going to a good home. Hopefully it makes it there in one piece. And moving on. More Falstaff. This is a slightly different pattern. This pattern is more valuable than the Tea Rose. It's a little more rare. It's called Folk Art is the name of the pattern. and you can see it's a set of 5 teacups with saucers. They sold for $13.46 with the buyer paying shipping, how I like it, on China, and glad they sold. This is a set of Mikasa. Whole wheat is the pattern. Mikasa whole wheat plates. This buyer actually bought 2 sets. I had a set of 3 and a set of 4. So she made me an offer for both sets, so 7 plates total. I don't remember exactly how much she offered, but it wasn't much off. She wanted like, $3 off of each set or something. So, and she paid for shipping, and off they went to Texas. So glad to be selling China. My China shelf is getting a little bit smaller, and I'm happy about that. All right, now we're going to move on to some industrial surplus stuff that sold. And I know this is so random. I showed one of these in a previous video, and this person came and bought 3 of these units from me. I believe it's the same buyer, I think, who bought a couple of the other units from me in the past. So this really niche product, he made me an offer for $80 for each one. So reliable controls. This is part of an industrial air conditioning system, I believe. And he bought 3 of them for $80 each. I upgraded his shipping to priority mail and sent it off. So hopefully they arrive today, and he's happy. I should have paid for insurance on this. It's a sale over $200. Priority mail only insures you for $50. Generally, if there's more than an extra $100 in value that's not insured, I will pay for insurance. I think insurance is kind of a ripoff on anything less than like an extra $50 or $100, because you're going to pay like 3 or 4% of the cost that you're trying to actually insure. And to me, that's just way too high a premium. But I should have insured this one for $220, because if it gets damaged or lost in the mail, that's going to sting a little bit. So anyways, I'm happy they sold. I have none of them left. Sold out. Yay. All right, here's another similar item. This is Functional Devices Class 2 Transformer. Honestly, I'm not even sure what this is, but I came across a box of them in new condition, and I've sold them. So I have 1 left, and I sold 3 of these for $7.19 plus shipping. So the same buyer bought 3 of them. Thank you, buyer. All right, now on to some more interesting stuff. This is a book on manga art and anime, and I thought this would sell right away. I remember I bought this at like a cool, trendy yard sale benefiting a women's organization that was in downtown Tucson, and it was like in some super historic house from the 1800s. And there's a lot of neat stuff in there, and not much of it was worth very much, because all those ladies had good eyes and they could tell what was valuable, and so most of the valuable stuff had already been pulled out. I bought this for $1. I thought for sure I was going to sell it right away. I thought I was going to sell it on Amazon initially, I think, and then wasn't worth selling on Amazon. Had it listed on eBay for, like $15, and then I lowered the price to $10, and then finally had it on a 50% off sale, and that's when it sold. So it sold for $4.99 plus shipping. All right, this is a French military uniform plate of Napoleon era military uniform. So I had a whole set of about 25 of these that I bought at a thrift store for $1 each. And literally all it is just, it's a like a fold out basically. So there's the front, and it folds out into this. It has a couple like little letters in French and English that talk about what this item is and what these uniforms were used for. So this is definitely a collector item. This is definitely something that was designed by an expert in French military illustrations, and probably was bought by a collector or someone who's into military reenactment or recreating uniforms. It actually sold to someone in Belgium, so they paid $24.95 US, and then they paid about $30 in shipping. I sandwiched it between 2 priority mail boxes, and sent it off to Belgium last week. So hopefully it will arrive safely and they will be happy. This is the very first plate. This is the Planche #1, or the first plate. So this was the very first one that was designed. You can see this is the 1978 edition. Originally, these were created in 1943. However, these are still very collectible. Out of the 26 that I had, I've sold more than half now within 2 months of listing them. So what I thought was going to take forever to sell has actually sold pretty well. These items have been pretty collectible. Now I'm going to show you my favorite sale of the week. I think this is the most interesting sale that I had in the last week, and it sold at auction, and it's going to a university. So this item may actually go into a collection or be used as part of, the educational process for people learning about tribes of the Amazon. So this is a quiver of blow darts in the style of the Macu Indians, which are in northern Brazil or in Peru. So I took something, I bought this on shopgoodwill.com. I paid $11 for it. I won it in their auction. It's really kind of an obscure item. Like if you go and research, blow darts like this, there's very, very few of them for sale. I did manage to find, searching on Google, that there was an auction in Europe that had an identical set of blow darts that was like in a European auction website. And those were selling for more than 100 euros. It was a current live auction, and it had bids of above 100 euros. And they looked identical to this one. I mean, seriously, like it could have been made in the same exact place. So that gave me the confidence that the value of this was more than $50. And I put it up for auction at $74.95. I was hoping to get more than one bid. I didn't. That's totally fine. I'm happy. $74. $75 is an excellent price on something that I paid 11 bucks for, and to have it out of here in a week is icing on the cake. So very happy with this sale. Don't be afraid to sell interesting like tribal items. I'm not an expert in tribal items, but I do know a lot about Native American tribal goods and some about Latin American tribal goods. I've sold interesting things that made by tribal people, craftsmen, many, many times. And there is a very strong market for them if you find the right kind of stuff. So this was a good sale. So those were the most interesting sales I had this week. And I'm going to be busy listing things in my new store, listing things in my other store, Triple Z Treasures. And I'm going to work hard this week, and hopefully next week I'll be back at you with even more interesting things that sold. So thank you for checking out this video. Thanks so much for your support on YouTube. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button or subscribe. I'd love to interact with all of you guys, so leave a comment if you have anything to say. And good luck out there with your scavenging, good luck with your buying, and good luck with your reselling if you're a reseller. Catch you next time. Bye.